I'm Margaret Ann Windsor. I keep saying that. I was kidnapped from Buckingham Palace to give you reference to what's going on in these videos, what I'm trying to get across. Uh, I was kidnapped in 41 and brought to the United States to Moulton, Alabama, and given the name of a twin. Both twins were dead, Peggy and Carl. Both of them were dead. Their mother had killed them, and it was all covered up. I was put there. She would have faced the gas chamber in Alabama. I was put there and my identity stolen, and given the name of the twin. And I grew up thinking that I knew something was wrong, but how could I? I was brought there when I was 2 years old. By the way, this is when my Uncle George VI became illegal George VI. Movie made him out to be a great guy. Of course, he didn't tell any of the truth. His meeting with Roosevelt, President Roosevelt, planning my kidnapping with the ambassador to England, which is Joe Kennedy. And oddly enough, the year I was kidnapped, during that time period, John JFK came to, well, a lot. Said he helped his dad at the embassy, and Joe Jr. I wonder if they helped him kidnap me because my uncle gave me access. Kennedy, Roosevelt, the New World Order kidnapped me. Rockefellers and Rothschilds, Bilderbergers, and later Henry Kissinger gets into it if you want to know what's really on the Watergate tapes. And that was played out to me when I worked at the district attorney's office, Fred Simpson in Huntsville, Alabama, Madison County DA, after I'd had antifreeze put in me April Fool Day of 80 and been done in and should have died. Uh, so, real nice people. The cover-up is what gets you. This was the imposter that married Wallace Simpson. All this was pulled off with the knowledge and help of my uncle. Elizabeth became the illegal monarch. She's renowned, right? She's using my money. They even paid her to come to Virginia back in '07 when the killings happened at Virginia Tech, which is right next to me. I'm in Roanoke and they're in Blacksburg. I had to move up here in '86. And they paid her. She went through here. By the way, one of the people I thought was an aunt, it was part of the Dempsey, Lina Dempsey, the mother of the twins. It was one of her sisters, younger sisters. Actually lived in Carlisle, Kentucky, and she taught school at a military out of Lexington, where the racehorses are and all that. Elizabeth, of course, had all the horses. She's got my money. Somebody mentioned the crown jewels. I really didn't think about that. Well, she stole it all. Her father did, and they're sitting there. They gave away Great Britain, and they're renowned. People just think they're great stuff. Look at her sons, grandsons. And my sons, I don't even know where they are. They're the legitimate heirs. They have had everything vile and ugly done to them. And good things are coming to Prince, who waits and waits and waits. Well, I hope the good thing is I finally seen justice, and they're handcuffed, and they're hauled off as the criminals that they are. By the way, I hate to even say this, but Larry Flint was shot. I wrote about programming mind control in '77, '78. I didn't know about my real name until late '83. I began finding out. But Larry Flint, most people would, it's pornography, and I don't like pornography. I never have. Never said I did. I certainly don't like it. But Larry Flint had the guts to stand up and tell the truth and write about political corruptness. And he got locked up in Butner, North Carolina, where a lot of the serial killers who are mind control victims are put. And the psychiatrists do know it. It's being used as a murder weapon, mind control is. But the guy that shot Larry Flint in Lawrenceville was programmed, and Mr. Flint told about in this article that I knew who was responsible for his shooting in Lawrenceville. The point I wanted to really make, though, is people would make bad remarks about Larry Flint, you know, and here, how do you make, well, first of all, Larry Flint I like. I don't like pornography, but I sure the heck don't like a woman who sold out her country, who has lived a life that I dare say no one else has ever lived, and she's given it all over to her family. There's a brood, a line of them you can't believe. She's known about me, the suffering. She's known about my father. She's known she's illegal. She's part of the New World Order that's taking over now. Her son is. And people love her. You know, it really makes you stop and wonder, doesn't it? Uh, anyway, I wanted to show you my hairdo. I have, they've used my, and I meant to put down a couple of the others. Um, when I came here, my jobs were shut down and everything, even places to stay. All it takes, believe it or not, if you can't get an attorney and the laws do it, it is one phone call from a cop or a mayor, police chief or the FBI or the state trooper, and you can get shut down. I've tried to leave. I've had to come back. I lived on the Appalachian Trail, froze, starved over the years, had chemicals. People were really mean. The trail people, the volunteers, actually soaked my tents. And there's a long story there. Like, they soaked me a few years ago, and I was legal up at Roanoke Mountain. And I put pictures on my other phone. I couldn't go anywhere without being soaked, and people really don't want it to happen to them, is it. I got out of the tent, and I'd been just about knocked out. And when I got out, I fell, and I went tumbling down and hit a tree. I could have been killed. I'm shocked at my age how I didn't have everything broken. Anyway, they ruined the tent. I had a good tent, a Sierra, which I love. They ruined it. So they have, I couldn't go, it got to where I couldn't go and tent in the forest. I couldn't have a place to live. I was soaked with chemicals. My immune system attacks itself. I'm allergic to chemicals. I have an immune disorder. Lungs, liver, I've been soaked in it, kidneys. But since I've been here, and I've been here a long time, so you get your maintenance and you get your management in on all of it. But my hair, at first I thought it was the water, and I didn't know I was drinking it, so, but I thought it was affecting my hair. I couldn't wash it. I thought what was coming out of the shower was something in it, and my hair was tangled. It's not. It's coming out of the air-conditioned heating, which they've used on me. You can put stuff in there that's poison, really, to me or to most people, what they've used on me. But I've lost most of my hair over the years, and especially since I've been here, from the chemicals force-fed me. Doesn't do any good to lock the door. They can walk in, and if you can't call the cops to them, what do? You suck it up and hope tomorrow it's different. But this is my hair that's almost all of it's gone now. I had a head full of hair. I always had real pretty hair, thick. Now here it is. I washed it last night, let me remind you, and combed the best I could. And it was still tangled, but I'm pulling out hair. So, but I got the tangles out, and the fumes come out, whether the fan or, I can't use air conditioning and heating, but the fumes come out anyway. The only time I use it is just the fan, and the fumes come out thin, and they burn my eyes and grit and all that, and my lungs, I can't breathe. I slip down under the covers just to try to breathe, and quite frankly, I leave the door open at night, cracked pretty wide open with a fan going. So here's my hair this morning after I washed it last night. Now then, that was my point, too. Do you think this woman's ever had a bad hair day? They're living on my money and hell and lies, and my father's, and my mother's, that they don't even mention. Claudia O'Keeffe.